Good day all YouTube viewers, it's your Logoon the Cabin Dutchman, here with another 5th DLC Developers Update, plus YouTube channel update. I decided to mix these two together because convenience. I'm here alone, Sleepmaster's not with me. We'll talk about that in a few, why he's not here, because there's a good reason. And it also concerns the 5th DLC. But first off, let's do the YouTube channel update and go to the 5th DLC, talk about the 5th DLC in the last part of the video. YouTube. Well, if you look in the background, you see a certain game playing, a game that you've never seen on my channel before. It's called God Eater, and I've talked about in the past that I was really hyped for it to come out, and my hype train was justified because I love the game. I love it to bits. And I'm planning to do videos on this game. It's more like challenge videos because, you know, I've completed God Eater Resurrection. I'm gonna start God Eater 2 Rage Burst with hopefully with Handsome Jackboy and or other friends. I just play through it. But as for God Eater Resurrection, I've completed the game. I've got every challenge mission unlocked. I basically got everything, and the character that you see me using here is completed when it comes to her build. It took me a while to finish her build, but it's complete, and she is a badass. She's Rhea's Gremory. I know the guys who and girls who have watched High School DxD will be all too familiar with that name, and basically I've recreated Rhea's Gremory. Because I do think that the voice that I chose for this character also is the same voice actor as the woman who plays Rhea's Gremory as the English dub version of High School DxD. But anyways, enough about that. What I want to do for my YouTube channel in the near future, hopefully, is make videos of me going through the most difficult of missions in God Eater Resurrection, and upping the difficulty by making sure that I do it solo, and I do it on the highest possible difficulty setting. Plus a plus 99% difficulty setting upgrading, which is basically imagine me doing things like Handsome Jackboy did for his channel, where he goes to fight the biggest of baddies, and making sure that he doesn't take damage when he's doing it, and doesn't use items when he's doing it. And the same goes for me. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna make videos on God Eater, like me challenging the biggest of baddies and just fucking whacking the shit out of them without damaging them in turn. The background footage of that you see here is just me doing some warm-ups, because, you know, I was trying to get into that. You've got to do some warm-ups, and if you want to truly take on such a difficult challenge, because, you know, people know that what do you call that? Dark Souls is really difficult, but oh my god, is God Eater even more difficult when it comes to like doing those challenge missions. Trust me, it's insanely difficult if you want to do a challenge mission, no damage and everything. What else do I want to talk about? Well, that is for the near future. Let me know in the comment section below if you would like to see me challenging the biggest of baddies in the most difficult settings in the God Eater franchise, and just trying to do it no damage, no items, perfect, you know, mission complete. Let me know if you guys would like to see me do things like that, and judging from the response I get on this video, I will consider doing it or consider scrapping it. I would love to do it because I'm super excited about this game. I love the God Eater franchise. I just love it, and I just want to share it with you guys. Enough about the God Eater franchise. On to other YouTube channel news, and basically my personal life. I've covered it in the past that I started my education at the NHTV in Breda in the Netherlands, which is basically an international university for game architecture and design. You know, I want to become a full-fledged game dev, and well, let's just say that the course is really difficult. So far, you know, I'm in year one. Year one is divided into 4 blocks, and we just finished the first block, and I completed the first block with flying colors. So, you know, yay! Although I was kind of disappointed in my grade. I got a 7. which is, you know, not bad, but I expected to get an 8. I know that the lectures will not give people above 8 because reasons that they have. But the reason why I didn't get an 8 is because the feedback that I got was basically they said like, all right, we could see that you learned a lot trying to become a game dev here in this first block. You incorporated our feedback during the block. But the problem was that I made basically what we had to do is we had to make a tabletop game. We had to design a tabletop game, and I kind of like overscoped my tabletop game. I made a really complex tabletop game, like more in the direction of Dungeons and Dragons kind of difficulty. And you know, they were like, all right, we see that you had a lot of difficulties with this, and you kind of put it on yourself. But even though despite you having so much difficulties with it, we do commend you for, you know, even just to push through, and even like throughout the entire block, keep your game playable. It's not like it was broken beyond hell. It was actually quite good, but it was just too complex. So they were like, next block, try to make it a little bit more simple on yourself. We expect a lot from you. You're an exemplary student. The only problem that you had this block is that you were being held back by the complexity of your own, you know, game. Because they said to me like the type of game that I was making is more like a team game that you need to have a small development team working on it instead of just one person. And that's basically what held me back. So, you know, if I actually made an easier game for myself, I might have gotten an 8, or even impressed the lecturer so much that it might have given me a 9. But, you know, this is only just works as fuel on my fire. I'm super hyped up, you know, I know that I can do this. So the next block, so block B, I'm just gonna give it my 1000% and just go through it and just like fucking go completely nuts. Of course, I will tone it down. I will tone down the difficulty. I will not try to make a complex thing or whatever we have to do for the next block. I will try to keep it down. But concerning the whole education, you probably noticed that my attention with YouTube has died down a little bit because the course is demanding. It's time consuming. It's really time consuming. And, you know, I hope you guys understand that, you know, I just want to focus on this. This is like my dream. I can become a full-fledged, like, basically a game dev with a degree and everything. And I just want to do that, and I hope you understand. I will still be, of course, on YouTube. But just like my video schedule become very irregular. I think maybe 1 or 2 videos per week tops. I really hope to do that. But other than that, I don't think I can push out more than that. Of course, I will try to feature myself on maybe Handsome Jack Boy's videos or Spidey's videos or maybe even Jolt's Dude's videos. I really hope I can like work together with those guys in the future more. But then it's gonna be just me being featured on their videos, more like, because you know that it will save me the trouble from editing a video and everything. Anyways, what else has been going on in my real life? Well, I got myself a new room in Breda, so I'm now like in my own little house in Breda, pretty close to the university, so like 10 minutes away on the bicycle, so you know that's convenient. I will make a special video where I showcase my little man cave. It's very small. It's like I don't know how many square meters. I think maybe 12 or 10 to 12 square meters. It's not a lot. It's like this small postcard. It's not, or stamp or whatever you want to call it. It's small, but you know it's close to the university, and you know I don't need a lot to get around. So I'm really happy with that. That about sums it up for my real life. I will make an update video where I showcase my little room, and then you guys can see where I'm at. Not do a face reveal, don't get any ideas. If you guys don't mind, I would like to just remain that silent, mysterious guy on the other end of the microphone / video. Maybe somewhere in the later future I will do a face reveal, but just not now, if you don't mind. On to the 5th DLC! What has been going on with the 5th DLC? Well, yeah, unfortunately not a lot. This past block has been really weighing heavy on me because, you know, I've been just working my ass off and I really didn't have time to do any 50LC work, just a minor bit. So instead of like doing 50LC work, I've tried to focus on finishing up my new item expansion, and I hope everybody has downloaded my new item expansion. If you haven't, then shame on you. You should really get it. I really hope that the people who do have downloaded my new expansion and new patch, that they are enjoying the new legendary shields and the new legendary grenades that I've introduced. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section below, or on the appropriate Gearbox software forums page, or topic, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but other than that, as for mapping, for me, not a lot has been happening. Although I do have good news. Currently, because this first block is over, I got 1.5 weeks of just free time, and I intend to spend that free time on working on the 50LC, just like working on Heaven's Crown, working on the Scrap Belt, etc., etc. And the other lucky thing is that the next block, so block B of the university, we're gonna focus on working in the Unreal Engine, which is yay for me because I'm already pretty proficient with the Unreal Engine, and I might do some. I hope I can get some kind of arrangement with the lecturers where I ask them, because we are gonna work in the Unreal Engine 4, and considering Borderlands runs on the Unreal Engine 3, there is no backwards compatibility for what I make in Unreal Engine 4. But what I could do is go to the lecturers hey, I work on a private project, aka the 50LC, at home in the Unreal Engine 3. Do you guys mind if I go through this block working in Unreal Engine 3, so whatever I make in this block I can also link back to the 50LC, which basically sort of doubles up. So I work both for my education, but I also work on a 50LC. That would be ideal. But yeah, I will have to look into that. I will have to speak to the lecturers about that, if that's even possible or allowed. But yeah, so considering the fact that I'm going to work in the Unreal Engine in the next block, probably my attendance towards the 50LC will go up. So, in the past month and a half or something, I haven't really worked on the 50LC. I did some small tinkering here and there, but not spectacular, I guess. But yeah, unfortunate. On to other news of the 50LC, Sleepmaster. I got kind of unfortunate news about Sleepmaster. He's still working on a 50LC, don't worry. But the problem is, Sleepmaster is going through a very, very difficult phase in his life. Currently, we already touched on the subject. Sleepmaster at one point had a job, and this job that he had complied towards his background of education. I think he did some kind of education with IT or management in IT. So he's pretty proficient with computers. Let's say that. But his previous employee had to let him go because Sleepmaster was just too expensive. He was just too expensive. That company went through some harsh times, and they just had to let him go because he was too expensive. And at that point, he was, living on his own. He had his own little crib where he could hang out, but, he couldn't sustain that crib because he had no employment. So he had to go back to his parents. And his parents are, well, kind of a bitch, I guess. And basically what they told him is all right, you can stay here, but you gotta pay for your living expenses while you're at our place. And they were also really pressing him in finding work. So now, for I think a few months now, he works for Amazon in Poland. And if there's one place on the world that just is a slave driver, is probably Amazon Poland. And basically what Sleepmaster is doing, he's working 10.5-hour shifts. Do not correct your senses. He is working 10.5-hour shifts plus a total of 4 hours of traveling time per day. So basically he's busy with work 14.5 hours per day. And Lisa says Sleepmaster, well, it's kind of ironic, his name Sleepmaster. He is extremely tired. Every day he's just tired. Every time he comes online and I hit him up and I'm like, hey bro, how's you doing, or how's your day going? And he's just tired. He told me that every time he wants to do 50LC work, and he's starts up UDK, and he's in UDK for 30 minutes, and then all of his let's just say life force just saps out of his body. He's just so unbelievably tired. And he basically has no chance to work on the 5th DLC at the moment. With his current employment, he just can't work on the 5th DLC. That and his parents are also kind of like when he's at home during the weekends, because basically he has Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday off from work, so he only works 4 days a week. And you go like, oh well, that's actually really manageable. But considering his work pressure and workload when he's working at Amazon, he's just tired. He's just sleeping. Wednesday, even though he's off, he's just sleeping the entire day. Saturday and Sunday, he needs those days to catch his strength again. And that just basically means he's just sleeping most of the days. He's just so damn tired. And that means that he can't work on the 5th DLC at the moment. Which is unfortunate, of course. He wants to, but he just can't. Because they're just... yeah, his work is destroying him, and his parents are like, every time he does have a little bit of moment off, his parents are dropping all kinds of chores on his ass. So he basically doesn't really have time to do anything apart from going to work and getting his ass beat there, and then going home and getting his ass beat there, and then trying to sleep. Which is unfortunate. I'm really concerned about his health, because this is just not good. His health is absolutely just getting a extreme beating at the moment. He's just, you know, it's so annoying for me, because I would love to help him, you know. I would love to come over there and just help him out, maybe get a new job, or just help him through the difficulties of his life. But just, you know, I'm not in Poland, you know. That's where he lives. I'm not in Poland, and it's just, it's fucking breaks my heart every time I see it. Yeah, it's just so difficult. But he told me that he is looking for a new job. Of course he is, because who the fuck wants to work for Amazon? Amazon, go fuck yourself, you pieces of shit. Sorry. But, yeah, he's looking for a new job, and by God, I hope he finds a better job that just gets better payment and just is, you know, his cup of tea. Because currently, yeah, he is working for Amazon, but he's not working a job which is compliant to his degree, because, you know, he's in the degree of IT and management or something like that, but he works as a packer. He packs stuff in a magazine for Amazon. That's what he does. He stands at, like, he's like a conveyor guy. He stands at a conveyor belt packing packages. Whoop-de fucking do, you know? That's not what he's meant to do, if you know what I'm saying. That's not what he educated himself for. So I really hope that he does get a new job and just, like, finally gets away from his parents and just has his own crib, and he doesn't get fired, and he has a stable income, and then he finally has free time, you know, to work on the 5th DLC again. I will keep you guys updated on this, of course, whenever Sleepmaster, you know, gets any change. Or he will just leave a note. You know, Sleepmaster will probably leave a note in the comment section below if, you know, I said anything wrong or anything. Anyway, what else has been going on with the 5th DLC? Not a lot. Don't worry, guys. Even though the progress last couple of 1.5 months has been absolutely junk, don't worry. Me and Sleepmaster are very committed to this cause. At least I know I am, and, you know, Sleepmaster is too. But he just can't get his hands on it. That's the problem. But, you know, we're gonna see this through. It's gonna take us a while. This whole DLC that we got planned, it might take us another 2 more years, or maybe even 3 more years, maybe even beyond, like, when Borderlands 3 gets released. I don't know, but we are gonna push through, and we're gonna make an enjoyable DLC, which Gearbox could take an example of. And remember, people, all help is so much appreciated. If you donate to us on Patreon, just show us your backing, or maybe even if you're good at Photoshop, make textures for us, or if you're interested in learning the Unreal Engine, God, please learn the Unreal Engine. It's so easy. People get scared of the Unreal Engine. Don't be scared of the Unreal Engine. It's super easy. Just try your hand at it. You might discover that you're actually really good. I could use a hand with that level design, you know, and Sleepmaster could use a hand with character and hostile design, you know. if you have any talent at all that you feel that you could implement on the fifth DLC, contact us. Don't be afraid. Just do it. You know, currently we're just 2 people working on a huge ass DLC, which normally would require a couple of 100 guys. So yeah, if you want to help us speed up the process, you know, just fucking help us, please. Anyways, I've rambled for about 20 fucking minutes now. I'm really sorry, but I just want to get all this stuff off the chest. And I really hope that I've informed every last one of you enough with this video. This is actually a post-commentary, which is, I actually pre-recorded all the background footage you're seeing and just like talked over it. I hope I did a good job because, you know, people know, or well, at least I hope you guys know that like post-commentary is not my forte, just like handsome opposite to Handsome Checkboy, because post-commentary is his forte, but not my forte. Mine is more like live. Because I like to wing stuff, I guess. But anyway, even though I did this post-commentary, it's completely non-scripted. I just like rambled for like 21 minutes now. God damn it, I really should stop talking. My bad. Anyways, I hope that I informed every last one of you enough about what has been going on in my life, Sleepmaster's life, and just the fifth DLC in general. Leave a like if you enjoyed it or got information out of it. Comment, subscribe, you know, anything. Even help out with the fifth DLC. Consider donating on Patreon. I will actually make a separate video where I explain a little bit about Patreon and how me and Sleepmaster go about working with it, because I do think that people need a little bit of like, maybe you guys would like to get a little bit of background about how me and Sleepmaster go about our ways with the whole Patreon thing, because I do believe that some of you might want to consider donating, but you're not really sure, because, you know, Patreon, let's face it, is pretty scary. I mean, you're donating money to a project or a couple of guys who might just fucking run away with it, even though we're not going to do that, trust me. But, you know, I might want to do a video on the whole Patreon thing to get that thing out of the way a little bit so you guys can understand what our doings are with that. Anyway, I've rambled on for 22 minutes now. I should really shut up. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, everything. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.